Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Pittsburgh Steelers and tackling some misconceptions surrounding Justin Fields and their offense through the first 3 games of the season. There's been a lot of talk about whether what the Steelers are doing is sustainable. People are still doubting, but in my opinion, what they've pulled off so far with Justin Fields, especially against some tough defenses, is seriously impressive. I mean, Arthur Smith's defense is one of the best in the NFL right now, and the Steelers are holding their own. Honestly, the Steelers have the best defense in the league, both statistically and from what I've seen. It's not even close. Yet, people still want to see if they can keep this up over the next few games, especially with matchups against the Colts and Cowboys coming up. We'll touch on those games later, but right now, what Fields and this offense are doing, it's legit. The advanced stats back it up too. They've faced solid defenses, Falcons, Broncos, Chargers, and Fields has been handling them impressively. But before we go any deeper, quick shout out to our sponsor, BetUS. If we can hit 100 likes on this video, that would be amazing. We post a lot of Steelers content, so if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Earlier today, I was reading a Bleacher Report article about all 32 teams heading into Week 4, and here's what they had to say about the Steelers. I'm still not sure how sustainable this is. They have a bottom 10 scoring offense, despite solid quarterback play, which doesn't look great for their future. But they're excited to see how Pittsburgh does against Dallas in a couple of weeks. And honestly, I get it. Dallas hasn't looked all that impressive, especially after last night's game against the Giants, where they seemed, well, pretty average. Jared Bailey wrote an awesome article on Justin Fields and why the advanced stats tell a different story. Pittsburgh has only 75 passing attempts in 3 games. That's the 6th lowest in the NFL. It's a little unbalanced, but that's something we'll dive into later. Let's not forget about the wide receivers. George Pickens, Calvin Austin, and tight end Pat Freiermuth have combined for 40 of the team's 71 total targets. Pickens and Austin are the only 2 players with over 100 receiving yards so far. Fields' stats are solid, but I was just watching Julian Edelman say he wants to see it for the full 17 games, which is totally fair. Now, I take a lot of pride in my Steelers content. I've said from the beginning that this is a 10-win team. Whether it was Russell Wilson or Justin Fields at quarterback, this roster has so much talent from top to bottom, and I still believe it's one of the best in the league. Last thing, remember that Instagram reel from earlier this season? The one where I said the Steelers were going to scare the NFL? Over 250,000 people liked it, and it featured a SpongeBob meme. Classic stuff. But let's talk about Justin Fields. He's been doing a great job, even if the basic stats don't show it. Right now, he's averaging 173 yards per game with 2 touchdowns. But where Fields really shines is in the advanced stats. That's where things get interesting. Fields ranks 2nd in the NFL in passer rating. According to Sports Info Solutions, he's 10th in EPA, expected points added, when throwing beyond the first down marker, and 9th in both positive play percentage and points above replacement. He's also 6th in boom play percentage, which measures explosive plays, those with an EPA of at least 1. Basically, Fields has been delivering big-time plays. Before we dive deeper, another quick shout-out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. We've been telling you all off-season, and after the first 3 weeks, I stand by it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the best team in the AFC North. If you're looking to bet on that, let me show you how. Scroll down to the AFC North Division, and you'll find the Steelers at plus 200. Plus, BetUS is offering a 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next 2 deposits when you use the code YouTube150. Now let's get back to the breakdown. Fields is playing incredible football. He's only thrown 1 interception, and the fumbles that plagued him in Chicago? Not a problem this season. He's got a much better coaching staff and a stronger offensive line with Pittsburgh. As a Chicago native, He's been open about how different this Steelers coaching staff is compared to the mess he dealt with on the Bears. And it's not just short passes or checkdowns with Fields, he's getting the ball down the field. In 2023, the Steelers were 27th in plays per game. Right now, they're up to 9th. They were also terrible on third downs last year, ranking 21st in conversion percentage. With Fields under center, they've jumped to 7th. Now here's the kicker. This offensive line is seriously banged up. We'll get into that later, but it's been rough. The one thing I really want to see improve moving forward is the running game. The Steelers are the second most run-heavy team in the NFL, and while they're 12th in total rushing yards, they're struggling with efficiency. They rank 28th in yards per carry and have one of the worst EPA on rushing plays in the league, at nearly minus 25. That's a rough stat. On Sunday against the Chargers, Najee Harris had 22% of his runs result in no gain or negative yardage. The run game is getting shut down before the line of scrimmage even gets involved. The team's best run blocker, Isaac Sumalo, has missed the first 3 games with a pectoral injury, and his status for the Colts game is still uncertain. Other injuries, like Troy Fumagalli, known for his run blocking, and Broderick Jones, have also hurt the line. Now here's why this matters. The Steelers' next 2 opponents, the Colts and the Cowboys, have the 2 worst run defenses in the NFL. The Colts are allowing 179 rushing yards per game, and the Cowboys are dead last, giving up 185.7 yards per game. If there's ever a time for the Steelers' run game to get going, it's now. I'm really pumped to see the Steelers take on the Colts. There's a bit of recent history between these teams, especially with Jonathan Taylor running all over Pittsburgh's defense last season. That said, the Steelers did have a solid game against the Bears, holding them to just 2.3 yards per carry on 28 attempts. But let's be real, the Bears are an absolute mess right now, so that's not much to brag about. My main point is this: Justin Fields is doing his thing, and I don't see any reason why he should sit. Russell Wilson is technically questionable for Sunday's game, but if I'm Mike Tomlin, there's no way Wilson starts unless Fields loses a game. He's earned that starting spot. On another note, it seems like the Steelers are keeping an eye on the wide receiver market after failing to trade for Brandon Ayuk. The trade deadline is November 7th at 4 p.m. Eastern, and according to ESPN's Dan Graziano, there are a few names to watch, like DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk, who might become available. Quick injury update. Alex Highsmith is expected to miss 2-3 games with a groin injury, and Jaylen Warren is week to week, which means he's out for Sunday's game. So it's going to be Najee Harris, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Justin Fields running the show. I really want to see this run game get back to the level we know they're capable of. That's it for today. This was a bit of a rant meets statistical breakdown, but thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for daily NFL content and weekly Steelers videos. And of course, another shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the video. Before you go, drop your predictions for Sunday's game against the Colts in the comments below. Hopefully, I'll see you in 48 hours with a victory recap. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. Peace.